Zns Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
The Bahamas Volleyball Federation held elections last night. Joe Smith was returned as president. Leslie Rusher-Cartwright, the first vice president. Second VP is Lloyd Davis. Kurtwood Green, the third VP. Crystal Forbes is the general secretary. She'll be assisted by Helena Cooper. Raymond Rhymes Wilson will serve as the treasurer. The assistant treasurer is Moses Johnson Jr.
Definitely we're going to make some amendments to our constitution. We had a meeting with the director of sports, and he has already pointed out some areas that we will be looking at. There are some amendments that are not in this constitution, like the 4-year term, and that has to be implemented in black and white, where we have to change the articles and the clauses to make it applicable to what we're doing now. But we're going to sit, and the NPVOA constitution, we're going to look, that's going to be high on the agenda, because we're going to look into that constitution, because the main thing is we don't want any of our member associations clashing in their constitutions and causing problems for one another.
Our senior men's national basketball team finalized for their 2-game series in the FIBA World Cup qualifiers that tip off on Thursday against the Dominican Republic at the Kennedy Isaacs Gym. The squad consists of Michael Furley-Bain, Shavano Cooper, Leon Cooper, Alonzo Hines, Abel Joseph, Robert Nortman, David Nesbitt, Jonathan Farrell, Christopher Chicken Turnquest, Jerron Keno Burrows, Kentuan Smith, and Eugene Bain. The coaching staff made up of Mario Boleg, Norris Bain, Wade Watson, and Quentin 3-ounce Hall. Following Thursday's game, the Bahamas plays Canada on Sunday. The U.S. Virgin Islands also playing their home games here after their facilities were destroyed during last year's hurricane season. They play Canada in the first game Thursday, then return to the court on Sunday against the Dominican Republic. Taking a look now at day 2 of the 36 Hugh Campbell Basketball Classic, South Andres held on for a 65-64 win over Mount Carmel. In the win, the Cheetahs led by Cavano Porter with 22 points and 12 rebounds. Menelik Smith also had 22, while Jeffrey Francis followed with 12. Mount Carmel's Gregory Kay had a game-high 31 points. Eugene Neely in double figures as well with 14.
The game is very competitive, but you know, when you get your key guys getting fouled out and stuff like that, and you put your bench on, you really gotta, teach them how to control the game. I mean, we just almost lost a good game. We went 2 straight championship, played in CI tournament to feel out the Nassau team, see how they're looking. We come to Hugh Campbell, and we ain't come to play with nobody this year. I gotta get my starters to play more controlled basketball. Gotta sell the game now and let the game come to them more. It's always good when you play some of the top teams in the country, because your program, you really work with your program, and you see how your program, how they compete against the tougher team, like a CI or a Tabernacle, And Andres, we only play so much games up here, and I told these guys, it's about time we get back to the Hugh Campbell basketball tournament. We prepare them by, putting them in the night league, in the basketball league, which they are in second place right now in the league as we speak. These guys are doing a pretty awesome job. Most of them just in 11 in the 10th grade. It could be awesome next year.
Government High also on court yesterday. The Magic men blasted St. Anne's 70-38 for the Magic. DiMaggio Taylor had 17 points. Timon Kemp added 15, while Justin LaRose followed with 14. For the Blue Waves, Michael Wallace and Darren Johnson finished up with 17 points apiece. Reigning champs, the CC Sweeting Cobras, off to a fast start. They put a beat down on the St. John's College Giants, 68-36. GSSA Series MVP Brandon Strawn, he's still having the touch. He finished with 21 points. Marco Beckford assisted with 18. The Giants got a side-high 11 points from Voshawn Bullard. After being swept by CC Sweeting in the Government School Championship, the Antal Rogers Timberwolves able to rebound. They opened up with a 65-41 win over the C.R. Walker Knights. Dominic Bridgewater dropped in 11 points for Antal. For the Knights, Stanley LeGroux, he had 10 points and 9 rebounds.
The game was important for us to come out and really execute. We wanted to come out and set a tone for the tournament, so we really wanted to come in and have all of our guys get in the rhythm. make sure that we come in and we dictate the pace of the tournament by starting off with this first game. I think there's a lot of pressure on us, not necessarily because of where we are in the pool. I think the pressure is on us due to the fact that how did we perform in the final game in Kendall Isaacs. I think when we played CC Sweeting in the GSSA finals, we were disappointed with the outcome, so that's where our pressure is coming from. We want to make sure that when we get to a certain part of this tournament, we're able to execute and get a little bit further.
Central Andros, not one of the Family Island schools taking part in Hugh Campbell. However, they will play this week in the Mangrove Key tournament, and after that, it's off to the Nationals in Grand Bahama.
We play about 3 games, 6 games total, and we use that in a scrimmage to decide who's the best on the island, and that team then travels to basketball nationals. And so that's what inter-school league play, basketball, comprises of. It's very difficult. It can be discouraging, you know, but we do our best. Funds is our biggest challenge. You know, Andros is not does not have its own economy like some of the major islands like Abaco and Eleuthera, and so funding is a huge challenge. But we go overcome that.
There is a lot of anticipation ahead of this year's National High School Basketball Championships, and organizers want to make sure the tournament encompasses the entire Bahamas.
I just want to appeal to the members of Parliament to consider their schools, because we have a Family Island division. And what this means to that young person in Cat Island, what this means to that young person in Andros, who in some cases never traveled to Grand Bahama, means so much. And I just want him to pay special consideration to that with deliberations with regards to funding for this event. This is going to be fantastic for our Family Islands, and I want to see those schools far-flung, Long Island, all those schools participating in this National High School Basketball Championships for the sake of being able to win the Family Island division.
Some special guests in attendance last week for the final day of competition at the BAISS Private School Track and Field Championships. Julian Gibson tells us more.
The nation's chief, Prime Minister Hubert Minnis, all red up. Red coat, red tie, leading the list of dignitaries in attendance at the BAISS Track and Field Championships. No doubt who the PM is pulling for. Cabinet Minister Jeff Lloyd, also a soccer. But did you know Minister Lloyd, he was an athlete at one point?
I was a high jumper. I also used to do the 800. Me and Dave Thurston used to represent soccer in the 800. I wasn't very good, actually. I used to come maybe about second sometimes and third.
And for Minister Michael Pintard, he wants to remain neutral.
I'm pulling for all the students. We're wishing all of our students success. As you can see, there's clearly 2 categories of students there. Those who are seasoned competitors, as well as those who are committed to their school and seeking to gather points.
Also taking in the Track and Field Championships, Shawnee Miller, Vibo.
At the end of the day, we're all Bahamians, and so, you know, it's just like a fun competitive meet. You know, it's been a competitive meet from since we were young kids, and so it's just about coming out here and representing your school well, and you're just trying to make yourself proud.
What makes SAC so tough to beat?
You know, we just hope that SAC spirit running along with us. You know, every time we come in here, we know that we have to go out there and put 110% out there, and so it's all about just going out there with the SAC pride and just trying to finish up.
Even the Carifta mascot supporting SAC.
I really like SAC. SAC is my team.
And you can see why SAC won. Everybody was on that train, that SAC Big Red Machine, choo-choo, on Friday. Reporting for Zns Total Sports, I am Julian Gibson.
The Bahamas represented at the National Collegiate Judo Association Southwest Regional Championships on the campus of Texas A&M last weekend. Each athlete participated in 5 matches. Tyron Butler finished up a perfect 5-0. Artio McPhee and Kentico Forbes were both 2-3. Raven Penniman finished up 1-4, while Desmondo Boodle was 0-5. The New Providence Cycling Association opening up its 2018 season this past weekend. The Open Men's 35-mile course was won by Chris Curry in 1 hour, 27 minutes and 50 seconds. Justin Menace and Felix Neely, they were just a second behind. The Open Women's 30-mile race went to Anthony Simmons in 1 hour, 35 minutes and 50 seconds. There was also a 20-mile women's masters course that was won by Tina Litzinger. Lady Eunice is one of the better C-class sloops in the country. However, she has fallen on hard times, and as Julian Gibson tells us, changes have been made.
incident was last week when Dennis Chucky Smith, manager of Lady Eunice, issued this statement.
I fired the whole staff from bowman, captain, crew, everybody. The only man still on the boat is me. Now be gone. I give them about 5 years and making the same mistake, so everybody gone. I have new crew. So you'll see a brand new crew on Lady Eunice for Ballarat in about 2 weeks.
Well, over the weekend, Kendall Nabby Black responded this way.
Really my heart. We to put it on national TV. Understand? But I have some of them. I joined up with the Golden Girl now. I'm the bowman on the Golden Girl. And I'm sure I can put it on him when I meet him again. He's been watching the basketball game and his son must be getting beat. So we try to make it look good by putting it on sailing, but that's all right.
Reporting for Zns Total Sports, I'm Julian Gibson.
And that will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.